Welcome back to week 7 of Hand Technique Demystified. Today we're looking at finger technique in the traditional grip. Last week we learned how to effectively use the fingers in the German and French position. Let's now take a look at the traditional grip. In traditional grip we trade in our pinky for our thumb, which becomes a very powerful tool here. You can start by opening up your hand completely and facing your palm to the ceiling. From there, we can create big open bounces by only turning our thumb. Move the whole thumb and not just the tip. And try to keep your radius and ulna stable for this one, it's just thumb. When we return now back to the original playing position, our thumb gets more in line with the stick. Now bring your ring and little finger back in without getting in the way. Like this. You can also lock your wrist with your other hand to make sure that you're only using your thumb and no turn of the radius and ulna. So I'm using this to stabilize my wrist and my forearm to make sure that I'm only dribbling the stick with the thumb. No rotation of the forearm here. Our next tool in traditional grip finger technique are the index and middle finger. And we can train their movement by changing into this kind of position and dribbling the stick from above. We can also alternate between the two. And so on. Then change back to the normal playing position, continuing to dribble the stick with your index and middle finger. This may be hard at the beginning, or it will most certainly be. And back out here, you're dribbling it by pulling those two fingers in, So this is more of an up-down movement. And back out here, it's more of an curling in with a little squeeze movement, but you know the principles. Still loose and without tension. And you can again alternate between the two. And again, lock your wrist to make sure that you're only using those fingers. You can change back to this position. And so on. I like to do exercises like this. And again with the wrist locked, all three fingers. So which of these three fingers do you actually use when playing traditional grip? All of them. But the degrees to which they are used vary highly from drummer to drummer. Some people, like Todd Zuckerman or Jojo Mayer for example, use a lot of thumb in their playing. I'm personally not a heavy thumb user. I use more of my index and middle finger. And sometimes I even only use my index finger, letting my middle finger hang loose. Oh, sorry. So having covered those three fingers, let's move on. And it's safe to say that the pinky does nothing at all in traditional grip. It has no contact with the stick whatsoever, and I've not encountered any technique yet that uses the pinky in traditional grip. The ring finger, however, has an important role, and that's very often underestimated. It's more of a passive role for sure, holding the stick from below. The stick rests on top of it, it stabilizes it. But you can also actually create an active stroke with your ring finger, flipping the stick up. And that's kind of a reverse stroke here. You're flipping the stick up, and the stroke happens as a consequence of that. That's more of a subconscious, passive move here that all traditional grip players start to do automatically to some degree without even noticing. But you can also isolate that movement too and train it individually. I find it more easy for that to go into this kind of position. From here you can also do it, but it's kind of hard. You can train your ring finger perfectly in this kind of position. It's a very weird thing to do, and I haven't encountered a lot of people who actually do that, so who actually train their ring finger for traditional grip. However, it will surely make your traditional grip more confident and stronger. At least I realized that. Once I started to train my ring finger with all kinds of different exercises, my traditional hand became stronger and more confident. I had a better feeling of gripping the stick, of supporting the stick, and I could really make actual use of that ring finger here for all different kinds of stuff. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching and for staying with me until week 7. We've now covered all linear movements of the wrists, forearms and fingers. Next week, we will start to demystify one of the most mystified techniques in drumming, the molar technique. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section or go to my website. Please hit like and subscribe, ring that notification bell, and see you all next Monday.